Are you drowning in email? Like most mortgage brokers, you probably get more email than you care to think about. Today in this podcast, I'm going to share with you 3 tactics to significantly reduce your email and save you from 10 to 15 hours a week of email. If you are like most mortgage brokers dealing with more emails than you care to count, you're going to want to listen to this episode. Hey, I'm Scott Beckford. This is the Mortgage Brokering Podcast, and each Friday, I bring you a short tactical podcast to help you do mortgage business. And I was talking to some brokers recently about email and how to make it work more effectively. And I started to think, okay, there's several strategies that you can layer on top of each other to get a multiplier effect. And that's what I want to share with you guys today. Before we jump into that, I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Ownwell. Ownwell is an amazing tool for you to help your clients monitor and manage their home equity and buying power on a monthly basis. It creates these really cool reports with high open rates, 60 to 80%. Creates tons of conversations around what can I do with my home equity, or should I refinance? And you can check them out at ownwell.ca/Scott and tell them I sent you. I'm telling you, this is the future of how to manage home equity. All right, let's jump into it. So I want to just talk about email. Email is the thing that I feel like with some of these new AI tools is going to be a little bit easier, but I also know that you need to put some processes in place to make it work better. So the first tactic that I want to talk about, especially if you're running a team, and even if you don't have a team right now, if you're going to eventually have a team, you're going to want to do this, is you're going to want to have a single email account. You do not want to have your email, your assistant's email. You want to have them all come into one inbox so that it's easy you want to have somebody reviewing those emails and flagging only the ones that you need to handle. And if you have separate email accounts, what happens is there's a lot of forwarding that happens. Somebody goes on vacation, emails don't get forwarded. It creates all sorts of operational drag. And so what we did, this was way back when I was helping Jules with her mortgage business, we put in place a single inbox. And the great part about that was that when the clients got emails, and you can have different signatures. So it could be your signature. It could be your assistant if they're sending an email on your behalf saying, it could be that they're sending on your behalf, or if you trust them, they can send emails for you, but you can have their signatures so that customers know that it's not necessarily coming from you. And so what we did initially was we set up this one inbox, and it made it really easy so that ideally what happens is the emails come in, someone else, not you, on your team. And if it has to be you to start, that's okay. But if it's you basically flag the ones that you need to handle, and then the ones that someone else can handle, they can take. Eventually, you want them to do that for you. But what we did with Jules, my business partner, is that, so this was before AI, she would have her assistant write up a draft response to that email. And then she would look at the draft and then go, okay, yep, that's right. Or I'd make some adjustments. And then she would hit the send button. Because let's be honest, not all mortgage brokers, but a lot of you guys and girls, you have a control issues. You want to make sure that it's set a certain way. And the way that you can control it is by not letting them hit the send button to start until you trust them. You have them write the draft. And so what we would do is get her to write the draft, and then Jules would review it. And if she liked the draft, she'd make a couple of edits and hit the send button. Well, over time, now that she's been doing it so long, she doesn't need to even have Jules look at them because she can sound and sends them just the way she wants. So that's it. The first thing is you want to have this one inbox to capture everything so that you can have more simple communication. The second thing I would do is I would apply a program like Fixer.ai. So it's Fyxer.ai. I'm going to put a link in my show notes. I think you get $50 off or something. And this tool is amazing. So what it does is it does the same thing as your assistant, except it reads the email and then it creates a draft based on so you know, sometimes there's an email could go back and forth 3 or 4 times. It'll read all those email sequences and then create a draft based on that. And then you look at the draft and you go, oh, okay, yeah, that's pretty close. Or I make an edit. No, I wouldn't say it that way. And you make some adjustments and it starts to learn how you respond. I've already noticed, because I respond my emails typically are not very long. My emails are right to the point, positive, short, and not lots of extra words. And I have found that Fixer has started to do this for me. So now that my team, I have somebody look at my emails as well. I've got an EA in there, but a lot of times the drafts actually work, or they're pretty close. So the second tactic, number 1, is a single inbox for you and anybody that's working on your files. The second tactic is apply an AI tool. Fixer.ai is the one I like. And what I like about Fixer is I've had my team start using it, and they've saved hours and hours a week in responding to emails because it's already done. And one of the principles, I think I got this from Gary Vaynerchuk, is it's always easier to edit than create, right? Starting from scratch is like, oh, what am I going to say? Editing is 80% of the work is done. Now I'm just making some adjustments, hit the send button, and these tools are so good. And you can save a ton of time. And the other thing Fixer can do is it can show up to your meetings. So you can have it show up if you're using Teams or you're using Zoom. It'll show up and it'll take notes for you and listen to the call, take notes. It creates a summary email that's sent out after. You don't have to send it. A draft. It's like, hey, it was great for the meeting. Here's the things I said I was going to do. Here's the things you said you're going to do. So it does that as well as it records the whole thing. And if you guys right now, if anybody listening to this, if you're not recording all of your calls for note taking, you are missing out. Like, you really need to be recording everything. And you may be like, well, can I do that? How am I allowed to do that? Here's what I would say. You just tell people, you just have to let them know, hey, we record everything for, housekeeping purposes or for note taking purposes. People don't care anymore. We know we walk down the street, we're being recorded. You go into the coffee shop, we're always being recorded. So you need to record these calls. And so this great part is it just syncs with my calendar and it knows when I have a meeting and it shows up like an extra person. It shows up like a assistant that takes all the notes on the call. And then the great part about the notes is, let's say you do have an assistant and you've done a discovery call with a client, and then you want to let your assistant know what's happening next. They can read everything in that email and that summary and be caught up on it. So then it takes less time for you to do the handoff. So it's saving you time there as well. So it's tactic 1, single inbox. Tactic 2, Fixer. The last tactic came from my friend Renee Hughes. She just did an amazing cohort, which had killer feedback. When we do it again, I think we're going to do someone in October. You're going to want to check this out. So she did 367 files last year, on track to do 500, and did 100 days at the ski hill, and has a killer business run. And she only does the first 15-minute call with the client, 20 minutes. And one of her principles that I love is kill feedback loops. Killing feedback loops means that instead of back and forth 4 or 5 times, okay, they send you a question and you reply. They come up with another question. So what she does is she creates videos. She uses video most frequently because you can actually go into more depth and answer questions better. And she has pre-recorded videos that are questions that we get asked all the time. So it's the same question, just you've already got the answer. How many of the questions that you get in your inbox on a daily basis are questions that you've already had? Why not put that into a video, and then you can just send it off to them? So you want to kill those feedback loops. So the last piece is video, because if you use a video, you can provide far more context. You can even show things. You can do a screen share if you want. It'll reduce the amount of emails that you send. So 3 tactics. Again, if you want to save 10 to 15 hours a week on email, tactic number 1, use a single inbox for you and your team so that it makes it simple for your customers and also simple for you. And tactic number 2, use Fixer.ai. That's Fyxer.ai. Use the link in the show notes if you want to save $50 to draft your emails, as well as to show up to your meetings and take notes for you. And then tactic number 3 is use video instead of text. Hope you find that useful. I absolutely love how AI and some of these things are starting to be embedded into our everyday lives. And the trick, though, is to figure out which ones to apply and then get them into your business quickly and start using them. Thanks for listening. I'm Scott Beckford. And as I always say, there's no problem in your mortgage business that someone else hasn't already solved. The problem is who's solved it? How can I find them? The idea with these shows is to help you find them. Thanks again for listening, and I will see you on the next episode.